Well, here we are next morning. And there she be. We got her up here. There she be. And we're on an appropriate road here. Look out. There's some birds. Boy, oh boy, did the Lord step in and help me out here. I'm telling you, friends, if you could have been here, the guy came and he had a tire and he put it on and had a nice jack, and it was really nice. A lot better than mine. It was like you guys are here of Harbor Freight. Oh man, they're great. And I was like, where'd you get that? He goes, I got that at Harbor Freight. Well, it was like $600. I think he said six something for that jack he had. Man, I said, I need to get one of those. Probably works even. So here we are at the top of the hill. Just makes you almost want to cry. It's so beautiful. The Lord's so good. And you know, when this was all going on, I was thinking, Lord, man, this is so much work and so hard. And life is, you know, you feel like every time when you get sad that, you know, next day is going to be sad and every day is going to be sad. But, you know, I feel pretty good today. I really feel good. The guy, he said, how about $300? And I said, you know what? You need to charge more. Because there's a lot of people that would be grateful, I'm sure, for that kind of work. And they're not going to get it cheaper nowhere else. I said, I want to give you $400. And I appreciate it. And I told him about how I was praying when he walked in the yard. He's a good guy. So we put the tire on, and I drove right up. Yeah, that was all the problem, was I had a flat tire. And so then we started talking about the neighbors, and oh man, I got some bad news. When I come out here in April, I didn't have this property down below on my other 5 acres. There was this wonderful, amazing woman that everybody was talking about, lived up on the hill here. And I didn't know for sure where she lived, but I was kind of thinking she might live down this. So I'm the only one who lives down here now, but she lived at the end in a bus or something, or a camp trailer. And she had sent somebody over to me and made sure I was okay when I first came out. And remember that homeless, or the guy that was living down the road that didn't have money and was living in his truck? She was watching out for him, and she gave him a tent. She'd bring food by. And I was saying to somebody, one of the neighbors, when it came by, I said, I'd like to get some rabbits. He said, oh, she's got rabbits. And she offered me a couple rabbits. I never got them because I didn't have a cage and I wasn't ready for rabbits. But all I heard was that she's just this kind woman, and she lives up on a hill, and she's really amazing. And I thought, wow, what a nice woman. And boy, it's hard to understand how a woman can live out here all by herself. But anyway, this guy says, yeah, the woman at the end of the road, she was murdered. I said, what? Who? I said, you don't mean that lady? And he, yeah. I said, well, by who? He goes, well, on the property just next to yours, there was this guy out here, I guess, and he was I don't know, he had a lot of run-in with the law, I guess. And this is my property on the left here. And he had a bunch of dogs, and he was just letting them breed, I guess. And yeah. Well, anyway, he had a lot of them, I guess like 50 or something. And they were just running wild, and people were really upset with him, and he was kind of a crazy guy. And I don't know what he said. Nobody knows exactly. They haven't released all the details, but You know, and then shot her, killed her. And I said, is this guy gone? He's not here anymore, right? No, they took him to prison. He's gone. You don't have to worry about him no more. But I'm like, oh man, maybe I know why I got this property cheap. But anyway, the guy's gone. And she's gone, and nobody out here but me now. But I'm just hit me real hard. I didn't even know the lady, but and I was like, when did that happen? Because I got out here in April, and I remember somebody was in June or somewhere in July or somewhere. Somebody was talking about this nice old lady, and he goes, "Yeah, it was right after that." Nobody told me. Nobody told me. But we put that tire on, and I drove right in. Backed it around there. And now I've got to do a couple of things, and when the snow leaves and it dries out, I'm going to get up here and get a pad somewhere, park it. But I can vouch for the fact that if you intend to do something and you keep positively believing and feeling that you're going to be able to do it, if you really want to do it, you'll do it. You can do anything you want. Just make a plan. Tell the Lord, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I need to do. Ask the Lord for guidance, and He'll rough out the edges for you. If there's something you're planning isn't quite right or something, He'll guide and direct you and get your plan the way you want it. Sometimes you got to draw it out on a paper or write a little letter to yourself and create your plan. And now I'm not one that is too much on magic. There's a lot of people who will write it down and get a candle and burn it on an altar. No, I don't do that. I'm not superstitious. I know what causes these things. It's what the Bible tells us. It's faith. And it isn't just faith. Faith which leads to knowledge. We have to have understanding too. All these things are important. I don't know why Christians get all stuck on faith. It's like that's the only thing that you need, but you got to have wisdom too. And unfortunately, most of that stuff doesn't come till you get older, and I guess I ain't old enough yet. But I'm getting there, so. My dogs, of course, followed me all the way up here. I told them, go home, and they didn't listen. And I keep thinking, oh, it's kind of like Lassie, Lassie, come home. Or go home. But remember what was that kid's name? Robbie or something? He got out in the woods and got stuck or something. Here come Lassie. Well, that's the way with my dogs. Take a look at this little clip. Ouch! Man, something poking me. Oh, it's going to be pretty when it starts blooming. I just love these mountains. Such a beautiful, beautiful view. If that ain't the most prettiest mountain range, I don't know what is. And I'm thinking of calling that dog. I keep, the names are fluid until I figure out what their real name is. I decided I was going to call the big one Charlie Brown about a week ago. And now I'm thinking of calling him Bob Barker, because that's all he does is bark. Bob Barker. I'm going to call him Bob Barker. the big one, the big boy. I had started off calling him Buffy, but I'm not sure he's a Buffy. Not sure he's a Buffy. Oh, so beautiful. At the top of my heel. This is the nice little lookout. We could just sit right here and like a little patio, natural patio. I'm just so grateful this morning to get that finished and done. For now. Oh, that's a pretty cliff over there. What's the matter, Bob Barker? Call you Bob. And that one's got buck tooth, so I call him Bucky. And this one, you call that one No Namey. Nah, that one's Bubba. Bubba's really friendly. Well, let's go look at the ruins. I'm telling you, I got to thinking about that, and I'm pretty darn sure that this is an ancient ruins on this property here. But I guarantee this is a view and a half, isn't it? You ever seen a prettier view? Oh man. And there's those volcanoes, and there comes a bird too. Where'd you go? Oh, ow! Just about killed me. That stick, no. Here he comes again. He's like, who's moving in down here? Oh. There's your Bucky. Hi, Bucky. Oh, Bucktooth. Dude, we name dogs like the Indians. The Indians used to name their children, or I don't know if they named animals, but they would wait, a little while until that name manifested, They weren't named right at birth. Sometimes they were, I suppose. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Is that pretty? That's pretty to me. Oh, so beautiful. I'm so happy to see ya. Hee-haw. Man, all those movies and series and variety shows we watched for all those years are still stuck in my head. I probably should have told you guys that story. Now you're all going to be scared. There's a murder rock. No, he's gone. He's in prison. And we don't know what happened. Maybe they were having an affair or something. I don't really know what happened. But I'm not going to worry. Oh, man. I love this. I love this place. What are you doing, Maggie? Huh? There's old Bob Barker. And Buster. Hey, Buster boy. Oh, Bob Barker. I like that name. I like Charlie Brown too, but Charlie Brown is my favorite cartoon. That's got to be the prettiest thing I ever did see. Except for my other property. Might be a little prettier, but other than that. Whew. Oh yeah. There's mountains way over there. We're in the mountains. Did you know that I'm on the Continental Divide right here? That right there is the Continental Divide. Goes right through here. I mean, you know, within like a mile or two, it's Continental Divide. Meaning the highest peaks of the Rockies as it goes down through the United States, down through, up through Canada, up, you know, Alaska. Continental Divide is the highest point. So some of these peaks are like 13,000 feet and stuff. There's even some here in New Mexico. I think the highest one's almost 12 something. If you get up into Colorado, I think there's Pikes Peak or something like 14 something. But right here where we're standing is 8,000 feet. And because we're so far south, it isn't really that cold here. And makes it nice. But I was thinking the other day as I was driving, I was like, you know, this looks just like Montana in some ways. I mean, there are places in Montana where like you're driving and these peaks, these mountain crags and stuff, and it's so beautiful. And it just dawned on me it's kind of the same thing. Well, here, there's some beautiful peaks. I drove all the way to Truth or Consequences to get that trailer. It was just like, it reminded me going through Livingston, Montana. And I remember when I went through there one time, and I was looking at all the peaks and the crags, and I was like, wow, it's beautiful. Bozeman, you know. I think this is the ruins right down here. And I haven't explored all this, so I don't know. There could be... Somebody said this looks like a dinosaur bone. Let me go look at that again. Is this the dinosaur bone here? I don't think it is, but maybe. Yeah, there's the ruins. That's an old ancient ruin. I know it is. It's got to be. Okay, so somebody was saying this looks like a vertebrae. A dinosaur vertebrae. Bubba. Well, somebody took his vertebrae out right there. We need to make a bridge. Let's go look at the other one, see if it's part of this vertebrae. I don't know. It could be, I guess, but I don't think so. Oh, I love this property. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. See, here's more. The rocks just do that naturally. It's really weird. And, you know, I think the ancient ones used the natural rocks too. They would build their little abodes. But see, this looks like a natural walkway. Right here. You can see the rockway trail. Clear as day. And then here's the patio or something. And here's the observatory or something, or wherever it is. These rocks were placed like that. And I have a mind to put them back. But I don't know how they originally were. It looked like an earthquake came. They all fell down, or somebody came up here and dismantled it. But this used to be some kind of a... Now, I don't think this is a house or anything. I don't think they made these for this. I think they're religious things or ceremonial things. If you notice today, to this very day, the natives, they have communities, and you'll see about every 10 different houses, you'll see, or 20, I don't know how big the village has to be, but they'll have a big, I don't know if it's a 6-sided or 8-sided or whatever, but some kind of a round powwow place. And it's a little round room where they have a fire pit. And the men go there, the elders, and smoke peyote. And so I drove past that place that I've talked about, where I found it's a mountain, looks like Mount Sinai, out in the middle of, right near a town called Los Lunas, which is interesting. The moon. And then you go a little further, there's a place called Laguna. And I'm like, well, where's the lagoon? This is a desert. But then you look to your right or your left, and there's this military installation. I mean, they got big fence, and they say, you know, it's like 10-foot fence, you can't get over it. And that mountain's behind it, and I hiked in there because there's a stone there called the Decalogue Stone. And the stone is huge, you know. It's like a big rock, and it's flat on this side and round on the other. Looks like an egg being cracked in half. And on this flat side, in paleographic Hebrew, that they've dated from 109 BC, is the 10 Commandments in paleographic Hebrew. And I'm doing some research, but I have determined that that location is spoken of in the Book of Mormon. King Noah or something, it talks about the rock and how they put the commandments on it. And of course, not far from there, there's this place called the Waters of Mormon, where they would baptize, and I believe that's a place called Santa Rosa, but I don't know for sure. But anyway, I'm doing, you know, I'm really fascinated with all of this. So this would be one of the 7 cities of gold, which I believe has something to do with all of this, because the native peoples around here are called Navajo. And people don't understand, but the and the is really the same sound. And so they write it today because it came down through the Spanish with a V, Nava. But the Book of Mormon calls them Nephites, or Nephi, from their father Nephi. So you could write that Nevi or Nava. And like I said, the ancient language that they all speak, the Pueblo Indians and the Navajo and the Zuni and the Hopi, and they speak Nahutl, which again, the utl on the end is silent or something, because same with, Quetzalcoatl and all of these names, that I don't know how they used to pronounce it, but it was some sort of a Nuha. And so the Book of Mormon is absolutely accurate, history. It's not made up. It was given by divine inspiration, friends. And we're standing, oh my goodness, look at this. I just noticed this, guys. There's a hammer right here. Why is there an old hammer? It's a good one, too. They're up here busting rocks or something. Huh. Wow, I'm going to leave that there for now. And because I don't want to carry it back with me, but this is so neat. It's just... So, on that mountain that I went up to the very top, there's an altar. And it's a big rock. And on the altar, it's got Yod-He Vav-He in paleographic Hebrew. And off to the side of the rock, there's another big rock with some petroglyphs. The petroglyphs, people are like, what are these, children? They're drawing little animal markings, cartoons all over the... No, that is a map. Every temple that you will ever find, we found that one in Oklahoma. What happened? Oh, he's getting too close to his hole. He's digging. Up there, we found the same thing. Wherever there is a temple, you will find a circle, a sundial. They used it for their religious reckonings and knowing what time of year. And they had to have that at a temple because they had to know when to make the sacrifices and the offerings to the deities. And places like this were places where they would bring their offerings. They would have these little circles, and everybody from all around would come, the natives from different places. And they had roads. I mean, they had a lot more than we think they did. And they would bring like a tenth or whatever. And so they would bring cattle and mostly grains and things like that. And it would feed the priests. And the priests would live in other quarters that are probably made out of wood and stuff that you don't find anymore. But these rock places, it's all these words, religious words, like we talk about atonement, just means covering. An altar just means a barbecue pit. Sacrifice just means a slaughter. It was daily life. That's what it was all about. And the community said, we don't want you going around kill all the animals, but we have to live, and you have to understand how important life is. So when you make your offering, you're making an offering simply because you have to respect Mother Nature. And you don't just go out and kill willy-nilly like we're doing now. They would take an animal, even in the Bible, people don't realize that they weren't allowed just to eat meat. They had to take their offering and do it, say a prayer, and let the blood run out onto the ground and go back to Mother Nature. A life for a life. That animal was giving you life by his death. And so this isn't some religious fanaticism. This was an ancient respect for Mother Nature and our Heavenly Father. And the natives believed also that Mother Nature, the earth was mother. And the Sky Father watched over us and would send, the eagles to give omens. And this is something I learned from my teacher, a disciple of Don Juan, who was the last of the Yaqui shamans. He spoke fluently, this Nuhatl, and he's probably one of the last people that even knew how to speak it. And he knew the old ancient ways. And so I learned a lot about that, what I'm telling you from him. But this is real. This is ancient. Yes, somebody's been here and has moved the rocks around. This used to be some sort of a edifice. And if there's one here, then I'm pretty sure there's probably more. And I did see in this direction another area where there's some rocks, so I'm going to go look at that. But I just want to take a look at this real quick because it's just so beautiful to me. Those are real volcanoes. We're kind of in well, it's called, this whole area right over there, it's craters of the something, I can't remember. It's a big crater or something. It's a park. I'm right in the middle of a bunch of national monuments and parks and stuff. We got El Morro and El Malpais and the ice caves and the lava lands and all the, I don't know what they're all called. I'm right in the middle of the most beautiful sacred places. And this is probably one of the cities of gold. Or at least, I believe this is probably, what's this? This is probably a central place now. That place I was telling you about in Laguna, well, it's by Los Lunas. Oh man, I didn't see this last time I was here. Yeah, see, this is another one of these remains of what was a ruin. This whole mountaintop is just ruins. And it's been many moons ago when they were here, but this is, yeah, I hadn't seen this one. I just wonder how many more there are around here. This whole thing was probably a big temple. I mean, you know, we're talking maybe 1,000 years ago. I don't know. Just nothing but little mounds now. Throughout the Midwest, they see these mounds. They call them the mound builders. Well, they weren't mounds when they built them. 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 years ago. They were edifices, and they've deteriorated now into big mounds, but can't wait to explore this whole property. I guarantee you, friends, the Lord is working here. There's a purpose to all of this, and we're going to find out what it is. But if you go on your internet, you'll see that the government has now basically issued a warning. And they say that it's imminent. They're about to, this solar flare is coming towards the earth. And see, I don't really believe it's a solar flare. They claim that because of, you know, solar or global warming or whatever their claim, that we no longer have enough of a ozone or something to shield us from all these rays from the sun, you know. So it's going to knock all the internet down. Well, they're planning it, friends. I look for it very soon. I'm not trying to scare you, but go onto that website, Azure, I think. I'll try to get the actual correct website name. You can order all kinds of grains and organic. And friends, I ordered a lot of food, and I'm going to order some more, a lot more, as long as I have time and the money. And if anybody wants to help, I'm going to put it all out here, and we're going to keep it dry, and people who are hungry are going to be needing it soon. So anybody who wants to help in that endeavor, please let me know, because we need as many thousands of pounds of this as we can. There may be, you know, I know a lot of you don't want to come right now. You're like, I ain't going out there. But as soon as the city starts to fall, there's going to be a lot of people out here coming, because they know that the Lord has prepared a place for us. Right now it's just a piece of land, but all we need is a legal place to park and bring your tent, and your tools and maybe a little bit of lumber and build you a little cabin somewhere. But we need all the help we can get. Because we're talking a matter of weeks, months. I think 2.5 months, something like that. I'd say by Passover, the Great Tribulation could begin. And we don't know when. I'm not saying it's going to happen then. I'm saying that my own opinion is that it could happen as early as that point. And if not, thereafter shortly. We ain't got much time. And I think this is a sacred place. And this is probably where we're going to be gathered. Remember, I've got the Navajo and the Zuni and the Hopi and all the Indians around me here. And I'm getting to know some of them. I saw some other rocks when I first came out here, and I thought, well, that looks like a ruins or something, but I just, I didn't have time. So I'm trying to find where that was. There's another one. But the Lord works in mysterious ways, as they say, and I was pretty scared yesterday when I got stuck, or when a tire blew and I was stuck in the road, and I guess everybody's mad at me. But I believe it was for a purpose. Because that guy was able to get me up here. And it's kind of a roundabout way to do things, but I feel bad. I'm a risk taker sometimes, but at the same time, I think sometimes if you don't take a few risks in life, you're never going to get anything. I'd still be sitting at home wondering what I was going to do. He was over here somewhere where I saw these other rocks piled. And within, once the tribulation comes and, people that are in the city, they're not going to make it out here much. This whole area is going to be, there's not going to be people out here. Most people are going to turn to the government for handouts and stay in the FEMA camps. And I'm telling you, friends, don't do that. Do not ever go when they say line up and get your free bread and your canned food. I'll tell you a story. And I've been noticing it for a long time, but and I've been saying it, but I really know just how serious this is now. But for years, my back would hurt and stuff, and I worked in restaurants, as you guys know. I was a cook for years. And of course, you get free food, so I'd eat a hamburger every day and fries cooked in hydrogenated poison, and just ate the way people do. And my back got worse and worse to the point where I couldn't even walk. And I hear people saying, well, I'm vegetarian. And after I became vegetarian, I feel better. Well, I'll tell you, I don't even know that veggies are really that good for you. I think a lot of these hybrid fruits have too much sugar. But the reason you're feeling better is because when you start going on a good diet, or a better diet, you think it's better. You've taken and you're not eating canned food, and you're not eating restaurant food as much. And once you get rid of that canned food, box food, restaurant food, I want to tell you something. It's not just bad for you. It's poison. I feel great most of the time, but like this week I was driving around looking for things, and I ended up stopping and I got a hamburger a couple of times. And I ate truck stop food a couple of times, and I had a chimichanga too. Oh, I couldn't turn it down. I thought, well, just one, you know. Man, my back hurts. And I'll tell you something. It ain't just a hydrogenated fat in that hamburger that's making me hurt like this. There's poison in that food. And after that, I tell you guys, I'm not going to eat that fast food or anything ever again. Not just once in a while. Ain't going to hurt you once in a while. No, it hurts you. My back hurts. I couldn't hardly sleep. Just from a couple of hamburgers that I ate last week. And some fries and stuff I had in that chimichanga. And it's deep fried chimichanga. They sell them at Allsup's. It's kind of a local place. Oh man, this is nice. I think this is where I want to put my trailer if I could get it down in here. This is nice. Just a little lookout right here. And I'll be able to see all this. Nice level area here. Not too level, but gonna make a road in here. I don't know where I saw it, but somewhere there's a bunch of rocks stacked up right in here. We'll find it. Looks like a little trail right here. No, I think they're putting something in there. You know, we know they are. It's, you know, for years we've talked about it. These glutamate, sodium, whatever. All these weird, you know, MSG or whatever. Just pure poison. And if you eat that stuff every day, you ain't going to be able to walk. You're going to get sick. Man, I don't know where I'm at. And goodness sakes, don't drink soda. Or diet. It's worse for you. Huh. It's a little different today, and I'm just trying to figure out where I'm at. Okay, I know where I'm at now. There's that sign. It wasn't far from that, where there was some rocks piled up. Where in the world was that? Somewhere in here. We'll find it. I think I'm going to head back to the house. Might be able to make a little road right in here. I don't know. We'll see. They put a lot of work into the rock here too, on this road, and it's nice. I wish that old lady, I don't know, she's older, but who she is, whoever she was, I'm very sad that she's not here anymore. Because I know she was a wonderful person. Would have been a big help to, people coming out here. But yeah, she'll be watching over us in heaven now. I'm Bob Barker. All right, well, I'm going to shut this off. One last look, huh? That must stunk pretty bad because even you didn't like it. You little anteater. You leave me alone. I'm trying to find some poop to eat. I'm Bob Barker. Yeah. He's bigger than his dad already. They're only 4 or 5 months old. Alright, I'll see you later, guys. Have a good one. I love you.